Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Terra Odyssey. Today's read is going to be about how you're connecting to love through your spirit guides and your inner intuition, because I feel like you're in really good shape right now and we're all moving right along in this moment. We have the power and a choice to get with spirit and co-create these love miracles. You know, you may wonder, well, where is it all going and when is it going to start? But if we want to manifest our desires for the highest good, we need to stay focused on the now. Too many people are going back into the past and having regrets and wonder and all these things. And the most important component is being absolutely present in the moment. Have you ever eaten a whole meal and hardly tasted a bite of it afterward because you were distracted? You were thinking about paying bills, what time you had to pick somebody else, right? But if you're present while you're trying that food and tasting it, you can taste every little nuance to it because you're present to that. The same is looking, regarding, and finding these synchronicities that are leading you to loves, right? Like, what beliefs are motivating you right now? Do you have clarity in where you want to go and exactly what type of person you're looking for? And how is your conscious contact with divine and your intuition right now? Do you feel plugged in, or are you trying to do life in little small, like, rushed chunks? It makes a difference. We have to get rid of negative energy right now. Resentments we have to release. Forgiveness and love need to come in, and then it transforms our life beautifully, and we create our most powerful future right here and now by being present and actualizing it. So you have a really good, clear vision coming to you when you're working with that format. So we have a 3-card choice. Number 1 is skill. Now this is about expressing your higher nature through your work, and it's sometimes the easiest when your work is not exactly what you wish it to be, right? So released right now. Release as well. Anytime you're possessed by an emotion that you cannot control, know that it doesn't belong to you. Someone is sending you perhaps negative energy, and imagine this negative emotion is like muddy water pouring down through your hands, onto your legs, your feet, onto the earth. Just take that emotion into your hands and release it like a hawk. Just let it fly away, because when you release fears, you allow power to come to you. You create a welcoming void, which power can release anything that's not working for your benefit. And we need to do that. So many people hang on to regret. They hang on to have you ever replayed like an argument in your mind and you're just plotting this other person's downfall for days? That's heavy. That's distracting, right? So we need to release that. And number 3 is flow. The flower, oh, that's sweet. The flower of your being begins to bloom when you move with the flow of life. This is the process of letting go, moving your consciousness out of your mind and into your body mind, your shaman center, which is an inch or two below your navel. Feel your receptivity as you become still. Oftentimes, if I get a little worked up or I'm going too speedy, I just completely stop. Usually it helps to go outside and just look at the sky or something that can transport you out of that, and then you can start to function and focus a little bit better. So those are your 3 choices. So it can either be the wording, the number, because we have 10, 42, and 6, and it is skill, release, and flow. Or that's something that you're working on too that can help us do this. Because the most important component of this is creating our inner dialogue to be beautiful, positive, uplifting. It sets us up. It sets up our blueprint on what's going on, what our mind is receiving, and what it's supposed to do. When we say things either out loud or quietly to ourselves, we start to follow that, because our mind doesn't know, it understands us insofar as what we tell it. So for like, today's going to be a great day. I'm really easy at figuring things out. I'm not going to overload myself. I'm always excited for new experiences. I'm capable. I know what I'm talking about. I'm well informed. I can go into my brain anytime and pull out information I need. I do well socially. All these things, when we tell ourselves this, all of a sudden our body relaxes and goes, oh yeah, it's all right. Nothing is that big a deal. In fact, you can think of people that are going on planes that have panic attacks over that. There's so many ways you can almost just self-soothe by saying, you know what, wow, now I'm having time where I'm actually flying through the sky. I'm up in the air, all these things. And it's so weird, because I was listening to Marissa the other day saying, how it's much safer being in the actual plane up in the sky than it is the car ride to the airport. So it all depends what our reality is, and we need to shift it to say, oh, love is definitely coming to me. Of course it is. I value myself. I'm a high value person. Anyone is lucky to have me. And I was listening to this expert who I love, Matthew Boggs. Everything is like wonderfully from the male perspective, and I adore his take on things. He's very lighthearted, loving, positive, and he was saying how if you're going out on a new date, the one thing you shouldn't have is too much excitability, because excitability says kind of like, well, this is the best thing that could ever happen to me that I'm looking forward to. We shouldn't put that onus on that person or that event, because what happens is when we're way high on that peak, what happens? Boom, there's always a valley after that, right? And most things don't live up to our expectations. He was talking about how he went up to this girl because she was like smiling and laughing with her mother and her aunt, and he asked her out. He got so excited about the prospect of this date that he planned this like future with her, vacations, all this stuff in his head. And when they went out on a date, everything he asked her, she was like, no, I really just stay at home. That was like her answer to everything. What music do you like? I don't like music. I really just stay at home. So all of a sudden, bam, he was off that peak right down in that valley, flat on his face, because he attached so much excitement to this that there was nowhere to go but down. So what we need to is have gratitude for this. Yay, I have an opportunity to meet somebody interesting and see what their life is about. And just go from there and take it naturally and with ease, but people get so excited that they create this reality in their head that usually cannot be matched in the reality that occurs, right? Because what happens, instead of planting that seed for the relationship to be this lovely blossoming thing, they're expecting the mighty oak the second they walk in the door of, wow, all the funniest, all the best looking, all the greatest stories, all, and flourish, flourish, flourish. And the thing is, things map out gradually. You don't have this kapow 24/7. It would be like constant fireworks. It would actually get on your nerves after a while because you'd have overload, right? Okay, so we're going to begin with the skill, and I feel like if you chose this, that you are someone who takes pride in their work, and this may be a possibility where you meet somebody. When we hone our crafts and our skills in anything we do, and we want to have a lovely blend of professionalism, organization, and a beautiful end product, right? I would way rather have less products, like say in my jewelry. I'd rather create 3 pieces and have them be beautiful and have the finest stones than have, even in your own collection, right? Then have, say, 20 pieces that are shoddy, that don't have good clasp, that the stones have weird inclusions. You know what I mean? It's all about quality over quantity. And I feel like this too can pertain to what's going on in your love sphere in terms of narrowing down what you really want, because it is important that we ask ourselves, what is the first quality? Like honesty, humor, committed, all of those things. It's very important, but we really need to decipher what is the number one, right? And oftentimes it's like people have a vagueness. They're like, oh, well, I would like beauty, courage, honesty. I would like this person to be passionate and all these things. But right now it should be like, I love to work in 3s. This is what I would like. First of all, I would like them to be trustworthy. I would like them to be humorous and also playful. Playful is such a great component to that because people don't take themselves too seriously. And isn't it fun to go to the store with somebody who like puts on weird sunglasses and starts goofing around instead of, well, we need soup, we need this, we need that. An element of playfulness is always really nice to have in that. So we're going to see what's happening with number 1. And I got these, if you guys are curious about these, let me get my these are John Bauer. Absolutely beautiful. The artwork is so whimsical. It reminds me of The Little Prince, amongst other things. So here, oh, very nice. We have the King of Pentacles. Wow, very beautiful. And the 2 of Cups. This is amazing. So speaking in terms of this connectivity and this love coming in, I feel like your wish list is kind of being checked off. You're not even going to know how to feel at first because this particular person coming in is like instantly committed. And it just happens so naturally. There's a blend of your values, your likes, your dislikes. You find the same things funny. You find the same things exciting. There's a unique bond right away with this. And the wonderful thing about having the King of Pentacles is somebody that has a good sense of direction. They also usually have a good, strong sense of self-confidence, self-love. They work with logic. They're usually a traditional person as well. So it's like they love Christmas and getting together. A lot of interesting skills usually come along with the King of Pentacles. It's usually somebody who's really multifaceted in terms of knowing how to bring in different revenue streams, and they're very patient about things, because they realize in order for things to be professional and work well, it takes time, right? And they know how to evaluate what success is, you know what I mean? And it's not extremes. When you have a sense of abundance like the King of Pentacles does, you realize that leisure time and family time and relaxation and taking it easy is just as important. So this person is very well balanced, and they're also going to teach you some of these things, and you're going to garner wisdom from them, but you're always going to feel safe and secure. It's something you feel like you're co-creating with them. It's not two independent people. It's a blend of beautifully matched morals and direction. I think you're going to be happy just because they're in your orbit. Sometimes it's just knowing that. And it's not that somebody's so accomplished, which they will be, or that they're focused on you and makes you feel good, or you have this unique person to go along in your journey. It's everything. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous combination. So I love that energy for you, Group 1. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below if you need a private read. If you want to come see me on Instagram, it's Sparkrist11. I do daily posts, and I can connect with you guys really easily through messaging over there. And if you want to come to my Etsy store, if you'd like to support my channel through Patreon, all my links are down below there. And thank you if you're new for coming to watch my channel. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now we're going to go on to release. I really like this because I feel this is one of the most important components for new, fresh love to flow in. We have to release any pain, hurts, or living in the past. That just has to be released because it's a distraction. And just like flow and everything else that I was talking about earlier, the importance of self-reflection is one thing, but we don't want to always be going back to the past, because when we're in the absolute present, that's when we taste our food, that's when we see that beautiful flower, that's when we hear that gorgeous song. It's when everything has like it's almost like that's beautiful emollient skin cream. It sinks in, it goes under the skin, it goes under the cells, and you feel it down everywhere because you are paying absolute attention to it. Like every once in a while, that's why I love a cappella and people singing by themselves, because I'm not distracted by anything else in that. It's the purity of the voice, and that's what this release is being absolutely there to read the signs and see what's going on and be able to just get a grasp of everything. So I'm going to pull your tarot, and we're going to see what is happening for you right now. Oh, wow. So you have the Magician. I love these cards so much. These are John Bauer Tarot. I'll show you the box after too, if you're just hopping on. Wow. And 10 of Cups as well. So just in terms of life, never mind any new love sweeping in your way. Life in general, I feel like you're going to have a lovely variety of new things. Like nothing is going to seem common, boring, or dull anymore. Everything's going to seem like it's just top shelf, what's coming to you. And with 10 of Cups, that's just, mass wonderful abundance and feeling like you have security and you're connecting mind, body with people, beautiful social interactions, feeling joyful and everything. You're feeling like it's a life well lived when you have this card, that you're doing what you're supposed to do and following your intuition and your heart to pay attention to all these synchronicities that are bringing you to this love. And the Magician is just that lovely little delve of that sprinkle of like miracles all around us all the time, the synchronicities, that feeling of anticipation, like Christmas Eve, like everything is going on. But it does take a strange kind of gentle surrender to whatever is about to happen, because oftentimes in front of anticipation comes a little bit of fear, right? Because when and then the lack mentality can come in, because so many things sound too good to be true. But when we use our words to convince ourselves that we deserve the best and the best is on our way, we get that momentum going, we get that magnetism within ourselves. Confidence. It's funny, I heard this thing and it made so much sense to me. We have confidence and people have confidence in themselves. You wouldn't want to go in your son's classroom and have the teacher say, well, I'm a pretty good teacher. I'm all right. I have my good days and I have my bad days. No. You want your teacher to say, I know what I'm talking about. I've got a great curriculum. I'm going to help your student learn, right? You want confidence. And that's people, we're drawn to people like that too, in terms of mates and people we want to be around. People that have sound reasoning, people that have their act together. People that know what they're talking about, they know their feelings. You ever have those people that are just so wishy-washy? You're like, what kind of music do you like? And they're like, oh, I don't know. What kind of food do you like? Oh, I don't know. That's so gray, it's so boring. You want people where yes means yes and no means no. No, I hate Italian food. Yes, I love whatever, English food. I think it should be the opposite of that though. But you know what I mean? Where they know what they like and they know what they don't like, and you have clear-cut boundaries. You know what's going on. They have this innate inner wisdom of who they are and what they're doing. And that's part of this magician thing, that you're going to feel this flow, and you're going to know that spiritually they awaken a lot in you. You're going to be able to sort of delegate your time really well with spending it with them and learning about them, and you're just going to be facing really cool situations where you're going to have a lot of integrity. You're really clear. You're going to learn how to ask for your needs to be met. You're going to have good organization. You're going to get the answers you're expecting, because you're looking for the highest good in things, and you realize you don't have to plead and beg and ask, that you're experiencing life as a high creative, a high connected person. So you're accepting and you're loving yourself and you're loving those around you, and it's all being reflected back toward you. And so you just feel the smooth current carrying you along. Your heart and soul feels light. It feels like it's excited about the mystery that's life. You feel spirit in every aspect of life. You're understanding that, there's just this mysterious web of creation that is what it is, and it's telling you a new story every day, and you're loving that connectivity. So beautiful energy group 2. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. If you need a private read, or if you want to come see me on any of my Instagram, which is Sparkrist11. All my information is down there. So now we're going to go on to flow. This is very important, to not be swimming against the current, nor to see everything at surface value. To take your time and really just realize where you are right now and who you are is enough. That you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. I'm hearing this very strongly for this particular group. I feel like some of you feel like you're constantly having to prove yourself. Even though you're excellent at what you do, you're a good person, there are people around you somehow that are giving you negative reinforcement. That's, say, a boss that will just come down and critique things instead of pointing out things they like about your work. Family members also doing that. Not, wow, you did a great job painting this wall, but how come you didn't sweep the back rooms? Things like that. So if you have anybody around you with negative reinforcement, just realize that people that are unhappy will criticize. People that are happy will try to make you feel good. They will compliment you. They will lift you. So that is their energy. As soon as we realize that, life gets a lot easier, because we don't have to deal with other people's stagnant energy or negative energy. People that, want you to do good and make you feel good, those are the people you need to gravitate towards right now. Because look, you have this beautiful Queen of Swords. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then you also have the Emperor, which means you completely know where you want to go, and you also have the power to get there. And most of this comes from, and I know this personally from myself, and why I'm experiencing the success I am right now in my 2 favorite things. And one of them was, I knew I had to first put out the best product I possibly could. That's the Emperor saying, okay, you have all these materials. When you put them together, say in terms of jewelry, you have to use high quality if you want things to last. And also you have to take your time, and you also have to really listen to your clients and what they want, things like that. So I basically would write everything down. That's a huge component to help you in everything. Now, if you're drawing in love, that's another thing. What do you really want? So many people are doing a push and pull of, I want this, but I don't want that. I want them to be funny, but I don't want them to be ridiculous. I want them to, be really good with money, but I don't want them to be greedy or stingy. All you need is what you do want, because also our inner dialogue and how we speak to ourselves sets us up for how we start to act, and then that actually brings results and manifests things in. So strictly speaking, what do you want? What are these components in love? How are you going to pull them towards you? Connect with your intuition and let yourself know that not only are you enough, you are more than enough. Empower yourself right now. If you were to tell a story about yourself, tell yourself this proudest stories of yourself, stuff that makes you glow and make you feel great, some wonderful things you said to help lift other people, when you were feeling generous and loving, when you felt balanced and together, when you challenged yourself, when you grew. Tell those stories to yourself. It's very important because they'll stir you up and they'll change you. They will change you and you will grow. You know, we're all doing this crazy destiny cha-cha right now, where if we just always envision the best coming towards us, we start to manifest it, and we really create this light that we're trying to reach constantly. And if we're impeccable with our word to ourselves, like, guess what, I'm going to get up and I'm going to spend an hour outside every morning just listening to the birds, relaxing and writing. You start to do that to yourself, and then you realize, okay, step one. Now step two, what do you want to accomplish today? It's a little different. You know what? I want to go out and I want to walk 2 miles. You go out and you do that. As you mentally check these things off that you're doing, you're going to feel great. You're going to realize that you can accomplish anything, but you do need to sort of keep your word with yourself. You know, you're going to treat yourself well. You're going to brush your teeth. You're going to take care of your hands, you know, and you're going to make sure you're moisturized. You're not going to wear tight leather shoes that give you blisters, and then you have to, you know, have problems for a couple of days. You're going to care for yourself. You know, and remember the balance between activity and rest, ebb and flow. You can't have one without the other. I feel like a lot of you are pushing yourself right now, and that's part of this flow. You know, now is one of those times when you have to trust, you know, the river of your life and go with this flow. No time is, you know, there's no time like the present. We can't say, oh, well, we'll rest, you know, down the road, because what happens is we can suffer burnout. So I'm hearing, just really let this happiness just come to you. We're not chasing it. It is arriving to us. Okay. So those are definitely your messages. Group 3, love and light to you. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming to visit. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. If you need a private read, if you want to come help support the channel on the Patreon page, my Etsy store link is down there. The Goddess Provisions box is off the hook this month for June. Go check that out. I was super impressed with that. It was like a gorgeous Amazonite bracelet with beautiful face serums. I mean, it was really, really top shelf thing. So go check everything out. And remember, just take it easy on yourself, because we don't need to be harsh or criticize ourselves. We need to lift ourselves and expand into what we want and this oncoming love and abundance that's headed our way.